I'm here at Anthony and the Catalinas in Tucson, Arizona for a very special wine tasting this evening with MollyDooker wines from the South Australia MollyDooker estate. I'm here with I guess I would say one half of the ownership, and that's Sparky Marquis. Sarah's still back in the estate in Australia. But we're going to do some wine tasting tonight of some of the fabulous wines that Sparky has brought along with him. But Sparky, you've only been producing the MollyDooker brand since 2005. This is only you only have 6 vintages out there, and yet you continue to produce outstanding wines from entry level all the way up through the highest level collectibles. And I have to imagine that feeding into that is what you do in the vineyard, because you have established one of the most unique, detailed irrigation systems that I have ever seen of any estate in the world. How did you go about developing this? And it's clearly been incredibly successful.
For the last 25 years, we've been researching dry-grown, low-yielding old vineyards. And because obviously we were young when we got started, I was 24 when I started studying winemaking, and Sarah was 19. And what we wanted to do is we realised that we didn't have much money. So while you could talk about dry-grown, low-yielding old vineyards, we needed to understand exactly what happened in that process, and then to be able to replicate the end results with young vineyards at commercial cropping levels using water. And that was the big difference for our vineyard watering program. That was the big breakthrough that's happened, is that most vineyards, where they're talking about dry-grown, low-yielding old vineyards, are talking about 15, 20, 30-year-old vines. They're talking about half a tonne an acre with zero water, except for what the big man throws down. And for us, we're able to do, say for instance, Velvet Glove, the 2010 Velvet Glove. We grew it at 3.8 tonnes an acre. It's off 10-year-old vines, and we used 18 hours a day of water in the last 2 weeks before harvest. But it's very, very specific in what we do.
Now, this is a system whereby you really test the integrity and the health of the vine to see at what point the vine is being severely stressed, turn the water back on again, be able to determine exactly where it is in its cycle, and then you go through these minute adjustments, don't you, for the last several weeks of the process to get these grapes to just the right level before you're ready to harvest.
And I think that's a critical factor, is for us, is the minute testing. We're in our vineyards twice a week. We've developed a full statistical mapping system within our vineyards. And because our watering program actually got so complicated, I ended up writing a computer program for it. So we measure everything from leaf temperature to rate of growth or rate of non-growth on the grapevines, to change of sugar, change in colour, but more so change in fruit weight. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. But fruit weight for us is when you put our wines in your mouth, it's that velvet glove, that silky sensation of fruit. Before, towards the back of the palate, you see the structure. So my dad, who's our vineyard manager, he proposed that the fruit weight character of our vines came from the vineyard watering program. And as a winemaker, I was saying, no, it comes from what we do in the winery. And even though I developed the vineyard watering program, and we did, my dad then said, well, can I do an experiment to show that I think it comes from the vineyard? And he did. We got a 100% correlation between that fruit weight, that velvet glove, that silky sensation, and the vineyard watering program.
So the father teaches the son.
I had to eat crow.
With this sort of system, I have to assume, Sparky, that you need to make truly many, many passes through the vineyard, because some of these grapes may ripen just slightly before or behind others. How many passes do you have to make? How labor intensive is this process?
It's super labor intensive, and it's funny because a lot of times, as you saw on our website, we've got the vineyard watering program is actually videoed, and on all of our work that we do is copyright and trademarked. Interestingly though, we a couple of months ago we videoed everything we do and put it on our website, much to the annoyance of our lawyers. So, because they're like, well, why did we spend so much time copywriting and trademarking all your work when you've put it out for everyone? But for us, we believe that when the tide rises, all boats rise. So we're very happy to share information with people. But most people look at us and they go, the amount of work you guys do is crazy. I wouldn't want to do that. But for us, we 100% believe that reflects in the quality of the wines that we're able to share with for MollyDooker.